It ain't easy. It ain't easy. But people, hey, you need to stop blaming everybody else for what's going on. You get a 3.2 average in school, 3.2 average in school. What do you do when you get a 3.2? You complain about your teachers. You complain about the tests. You complain about everything else. When the basic line, the problem is you. It ain't nobody else. It ain't nobody else. It's you. The reason you had a bad year in 2013, bad year in 2012, had a bad year in 2011, it's your fault. You gotta stop pointing your finger at everybody else around you. You gotta stop pointing the finger at work or colleagues or friends or the cold or the weather or whatever. It don't matter. Because if you want to be better than what you are today, you gotta start with the man in the mirror, with the woman in the mirror. You gotta think about what you're doing and what you should do better the next time around. Don't find excuses. Find explanations for what is happening. If you get a 4.0 now, the next semester you will get a better than a 4.0. You will never stand in the same place, never in the status quo. You gotta rise from it. You gotta rise from it. And if you want to rise from it, man, you gotta start with the man or the woman in the mirror. You can't start with pointing fingers at everybody else. Oh, I have a bad childhood. We didn't have any money. I can't do this because I can't do that. I can't do this because my family never did this. It don't matter. You gotta start yourself. My family, nobody went to universities. Nobody had big monies. Nobody's spending a lot of money because everybody's poor. But that's not me. That's not me. My brother's doing right. I'm doing right. The rest of the family ain't doing right. They ain't doing fine. But I'm not pointing fingers at everybody. We grew up. We had no money. We didn't have a lot of things. But we developed, and we developed good together. And as individuals, you gotta be tough on yourself. You can't complain to everybody else, saying, oh, they have a lot of money, it's so easy for them, or we have no money, it's hard for us. Stop complaining, stop pulling fingers. Because your mother didn't have nice work, because your grandmother didn't have a lot of money, because your granddaddy was an alcoholic. It don't matter. It don't matter at all. Because the only thing you need to do is start with the man in the mirror. You are your own creativity. You are your own master of destruction, of dreams, of deliciousness, of delightfulness, of achievement. You are your own master of your life. So stop pointing fingers at everybody else. Start expecting everybody else to be there with you. If you can't start with yourself and say, I'm going to do this, I believe in myself. If you can't believe in yourself, then why should everybody else believe in you? For real. If you can't believe in yourself, making it to the very top and say, I'm going to be the best at what I do, then nobody else is going to believe in you. I believe that anybody out there can be the best in what they do. And I'm not judging about what you're best at. If you want to be the best mother out there, you better make sure you're the best mother out there. If that's your call, that's your call. But you better make sure that you are the best mother in the world. If you want to be the best hobo in the world, you better go out there and be the best hobo in the world. If you want to beg for money, you better beg for money the best there is. Ain't nobody better than you. If you want to be an athlete, if you want to be a football player, if you want to be a baseball player or basketball player or handball player, or you want to get a straight A student, then you better act like it. You can't stop and complain and say, I can't do it because it's hard. Of course it's hard. But you gotta make a plan. You gotta know why you're doing it. Because if you don't know why you're doing it, you're never going to succeed. You need to know why and how. Because when the times get tough, and the times will get tough, the times always get tough. And when the time gets tough, you can remember why you're doing it. And you still keep going. You still keep going. It will be hard. It will be days when you're not up for running a 2-mile run. Of course. But that's what it takes to become the best. To become the #1 version of yourself. That's what you gotta put down. That's what you gotta put in. And you ain't gonna put your fingers at anybody else saying, oh, he's taller than me, he's stronger than me, he's richer than me, he's getting all the nice shoes, he's getting all the nice money, he's getting all the honeys. I don't give a fuck. And quite frankly, it's not just me. Nobody gives a fuck about you. Nobody gives a fuck about you. The only time when people give a shit about you, give a fuck about you, is when you believe in yourself. And you're making people around you believe in you. Believe in what you are selling. Nobody's gonna believe in you if you're not believing in yourself. What I'm saying to you right now is that you can become whatever you want to become. It don't matter if you're 10 or you're 12 or 15 or 18 or 20 or 40 or 30 or 50. It don't matter. You gotta follow your dreams, because when you are 70 years old and you are sitting in your rocking chair, you want to think back of what your life was to you. What you created, what you made in your life. And you want to be proud of it. You want to have memories that you'll be proud of having. Because if you do not dare to follow your dreams, then you will regret. Maybe not now because it's safe, but later on you regret it. Stop going in #3 gear. If you got 6 gears in your tank, you go 7. You go 7, you go above the mileage. You do whatever necessary to become the greatest, to become the best. And I'm not saying you gotta make a lot of money. I'm not saying you gotta be the best, that you gotta play in the highest level, that you're gonna do whatever you wanna do. But you need to understand something, and I'm telling you right now, you need to understand that you can become whatever you wanna become. If you wanna work in a daily store, in a food market, that's cool. But don't come complaining to me because everything around you is shit. If that's the kind of life you want, live it. But if you don't, you better make sure that you live the life that you'll be proud of living. That when you get up in the morning, you're looking forward to it. That you're looking forward to doing all that because you know, in the long run, this is what you want to do. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to become. This is what you want to spend all your time doing. So, I just got to tell a story from a friend of mine who told me this. It's the last thing I do. It's about mindset. It's about mindset, how words can determine your outcome. Don't believe what people are telling you. Only believe in yourself. It was a Stanford graduate. He had a master's degree from Stanford, right? He was walking along the beach. He was home in Florida. And he saw this old abandoned building. On top of it, he saw this man. It was a 6-story, 50 meters. He was standing there on the cliff. That man, and the Stanford graduate, looks up at him and said, hey man, what are you doing? And he said, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, his clothes were ripped up, they were old, they were dirty. And the Stanford graduate, with a master's degree, he yelled, hey, can I come up there? Because you know, he don't want to be there when this guy commits suicide. You want to talk to the guy, you know? You wanna find out of this. What's wrong with this guy? This guy just standing on the cliff saying, right, you could come up, but I will still jump. The Stanford graduate, he comes up, he gets up there, man is just standing on the ledge. Stanford graduate says, hey man, let's sit down. I ain't gonna touch you, I'm gonna be close to you, I just wanna talk to you. and we done talking, you can sit jump if that's what you want to do. But I think I have some information for you that's good for you. The man says, alright, I can sit down with you, I can sit down 50 meters down. They're sitting, Mr. Master's degree from Stanford, and this hobo man with dirty clothes. They were sitting and talking, right? They're talking. After about 10 minutes, no more to talk about. They agree. They both jump. Because the negativity that the hobo brought into the Stanford guy's life, the Stanford guy believed in everything he said. He believed in all the negativity and the dark thoughts that this man had. And that's what y'all doing. That's what y'all doing. When people tell you something and you are not familiar with what they're saying, you believe in them. You believe in all the haters. Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate. People who don't dare dream gonna hate. Gonna tell you can't do this. You're never gonna make it. This is a lot of bullshit. You're never gonna make it. Stanford graduate took him 11 minutes to jump to death. They both killed themselves. Because he believed in all the trash that this man brought in his life. That's pretty much what you're doing. Not saying that you're killing yourself, but you're killing your dream. And indirectly, when you're killing your dream, you're killing yourself because you got a low life. You got to embrace, you got to be everything you want to be, everything you ever dreamed of being. You just got to find yourself. You just got to be there. You just got to hold on tight to the dream. You got to work for it. You got to do whatever it takes to come there. To become whatever you want to come. To become whatever you want to become. You gotta do it. You can't stop for nobody. You can't let people tell you that you ain't good enough, that you ain't fast enough, that you can't do it. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will ever believe in you. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta always search for the solution of the problem, of the challenge. There ain't nothing that's impossible. There ain't nothing that is impossible. It's just about how much you want it. And whether you say you're going to make it or you're not going to make it, I'm going to tell you one thing. You'll be right anyway. Because what you tell yourself is what you're going to create. That's what you're going to commit to. You got to make it happen. Stop pointing fingers at everybody else. Point a finger back at you and ask yourself, what could I do better? How can I help this man? Why didn't somebody else help? No, don't say that. Don't say, hey, why didn't you? Don't say that. Ask yourself, why did not I help him out? Why didn't I do something about it? So I will kill myself for getting another opportunity to do it. Because the next time around, you will help the man. You'll help the man out of his misery. Because you know what you should do. Because you have reflected on it, you have visualized on it, and you are ready to go when it happens. But if you're stupid and pointing fingers at anybody else, you will never be ready. You will never be the #1 version of yourself. And that's a fact. You gotta stop these bullshit about pointing your fingers at everybody else. Don't come to school to get a 4-point average. You're gonna get a 6-point average no matter what. Every test you gotta get a 6. Every day at work you gotta be the best. Ain't no days off. Ain't no days off. If you practice soft, you'll game soft. If you practice optimal, your game will become optimal. You can practice soft and play optimal. That ain't gonna happen. That's in fairy tales. That's in hypes. And hype is something that's not real. So is fairy tales. Life is real. You're real. Take care of your life. Take care of all the people around you. And stop pointing fingers around. Point them back at yourself and ask yourself, what should I do? To be the best, you gotta work as the best. Don't act a professional. Be a professional. That's all I have to say today. I'll see you later on. This is Kim Sports Guru. Man, I'll see you back in the days. But guys, come on. Make the rest of your life the best of your life, and it starts today. Ain't no tomorrow, just today. Start it off, be optimal, be the best version of yourself you possibly can, and go out there and kiss the baby. Good night.